Okay, so it's 6:07. I think we should start the class. Let's start with the basic entries thing so that even if people are there to join yet, they won't miss anything major about the class. Okay, so this is the most important thing while maintaining your books. Make sure you are maintaining 9 ledgers. When I say 9 ledgers, what exactly is 9 ledgers? We have 3 kinds of GST: IGST, CGST, and SGST. 3 for each 3. What it would be? Your output liability ledger, then your ITC ledger, and then third is your cash ledger. So these 3 ledgers have to be maintained for all the 3. What I have seen generally is that the accountants are not maintaining this cash ledger. This is really very important to maintain. Cash ledger is very important. That is why when the people come out with the thing that we are not able to match whatever is available in the ITC ledger as per books as compared to the ITC available as per the electronic credit ledger on the GST portal. Why this is so? So what happens is that on the GST portal, some rounding thing happens. Or what may happen, last time you might have deposited 5 rupees extra or 10 rupees extra on the portal. Now that you haven't accounted in your books of accounts. So if you maintain this cash ledger properly, you will be maintaining the entries of what? Payment made. It would be directly made. So once you create your output liability, let's suppose I'm just creating my entries. Debtors account, debit to your sales account, to your IGST liability account. I made this entry. It was 118, sales was of 118 rupees was my IGST liability. Now second was I had purchased some items to provide this services. So I have taken purchases account debit. I think it's worth of rupees 50. ITC, IGST, ITC. I'm saying it's of 9 rupees. To creditors, that is your payable amount 59. So somehow I come to know that for the month of, let it be a month of July, my output liability is 18, whereas I have an ITC of 9. So what I'm required to pay in cash, that is 9 rupees. These entries are made during the month. Both of the entries, sale and purchases, are happening during the month. At the end of the month, whatever is your last date, whenever your accountant is doing the reconciliations for the month and determining what is the liability, ask him to pass on the end of the month the following entry, which is IGST liability account debit to IGST ITC to GST payable. So this is 18, this is 9, and this is 9. So at the end of the month, what I'm doing, I am adjusting the entire liabilities and the ITC, whatever is available to me, and I am creating a separate ledger called GST payable. Now this is a payment liability for the month of July that will appear in my books as on 31st July. What benefits is going to make? First, your accounts will get reconciled. By the end of the year, if you are doing the reconciliation, you might miss out a lot of things. You won't do that. Your liability is now generated. So if you are doing this adjustment entry on the 20th of the next month, what will happen? By the 20th, you are having ITC and liabilities entry for the next 20 days of the month also. So it creates a confusion. In order to avoid that confusion, we make this adjustment entry on 31st July, the end of the month. Then whenever you are making the payment, let's suppose you are making the payment on 15th of August for the month of July. So what entry I'll pass? Oh, sorry. Extremely sorry. So what entry I'll pass is that I will pass first. I'm going to make the payment. So all the things are happening in IGST. So that is why I have taken the IGST. IGST cash ledger account debit to bank account. I have made the payment. 9 rupees and 9 rupees. So as soon as I have made the payment, I debited cash ledger and credited my bank account. And on the same day, I'll make the entry GST payable account debit to my IGST cash ledger account. 9 and 9. So in this case, there is no difference in what is payable and what I have deposited in the cash ledger. Let's suppose you have deposited 10 rupees in the cash ledger and now you have to adjust only 9 rupees. So your IGST cash ledger will carry 1 rupees as the balance. And by the end of the year, when you will be doing the reconciliation, you will be able to get all the entries. Nothing would be left unreconciled or mismatched. Right? This is how we are going to maintain the books of accounts. Good to go? Let's move ahead with the topic of the class today. It's already 13 minutes past. Wait a minute. Okay. So class, for today, last week we have done GSTR1 online. So we have to start with GSTR1 offline today. Are we good with that? The entries that I have explained, how to make them in book. Can I have yes or no? Okay. So Rupal has now come out with a very good question. She's asking, what about the difference of GST input on portal and our books? Okay. Let me cover this question as well. Let's suppose your ITC as per books for the month of July is coming out to be rupees 50. What we have taken in the previous example, I am saying the same. ITC as per books is rupees 50. Whereas ITC, I won't say Rupal portal, I would say ITC as per 2B. So ITC as per 2B is coming out to be 45 rupees. It's not 50. The eligible ITC as per 2B is coming out to be 45 rupees. Now in your books, IGST, ITC ledger, what is appearing? 50 rupees debit balance. Perfect. Now, this is my calculation part, that my ITC as per 2B is 45, and what does Rule 36.4 says? Rule 36.4 says that whatever ITC is available as per GSTR 2B, above that you can take 5% more of the ITC which is not available. In if I talk about the definitions of Rule 36.4, it says eligible and non-eligible ITC. Okay. So eligible ITC in Rule 36.4 is 45, plus I am allowed to take 5% of this. 5% of this comes out to 2.25. So total ITC that I can take $47.25. So for July, I am allowed to take this ITC. But as per books, what is there available with me? That is 50 rupees. So what I do? The difference. What is the difference ITC? What I am not allowed to take? Difference is 2.75. This amount will lie in which account? Unreconciled IGST ITC. So what I do on the 31st July, when I'm going to pass my adjustment entry, I pass one more entry now. That entry would be IGST unreconciled ITC ledger debit to IGST ITC. And what amount is going to take? It is 2.75. So what I did, I transferred this 2.75 into my IGST unreconciled ledger. Now Now, what is going to happen? 2.75 is in my unreconciled account. The balance amount in my IGST ITC would be 47.25. Now with 47.25, I'll pass my adjustment entry, which will become as IGST liability, that was 100, to IGST ITC, that will come 47.25, to GST payable, which will come to what? I think I've taken some different figures now. So it will come to 52.75. So now this is your payment liability, and this you are going to pay in cash, and then you will get it adjusted. What would be the next level of entry? Next month, the August month, this 2.75. Basically, 5 rupees are not appearing in my 2B. So what will happen? Next month, that 5 rupees can appear in my 2B. Now what I'll do, out of that 5 rupees, I've already taken ITC for 2.25. Right? This 5% was of 45 rupees. Whatever is available to me, of that 5% additional ITC I can take. Now this 2.25 is out of the 5 rupees that is not available to me, and which will become available in the next month. So in the month of August, when my 2B will show that 5 rupees is available to you, so I'll take the balance ITC, that is 2.75. So this 2.75 was lying where? This was lying in my IGST unreconciled account. So the next month I will pass again an entry that IGST ITC account debit and IGST unreconciled account ITC account credit. So I'll transfer again 2.75 from the unreconciled account to my IGST ITC account. And then again, this is the ITC that is available to me. And then I would be able to pass my adjustment entry at the end of the month. Okay. Now, Sushma is saying that if it is fine that we take the figure of 2B only and do not take 5% benefit, Sushma, it's up to the management call. I always say different companies, different client, different customer, and this 5% has a different impact. So for many people, this 5% can be only thousands of rupees, but for many organizations, this 5% accounts to lakhs of rupees. So we have to decide it according to the quantum of the amount involved. So Pranavi, repeating my last point in this section, that now this unreconciled ITC, that is rupees 2.25, and this was out of rupees 5. So in the month of August, if this rupees 5 becomes available in my 2B, so I'll claim the balance 2.75, which I have transferred in the IGST unreconciled account as in my ITC ledger. Okay, so it will be available to me next month, but the balance amount, not what I have already taken. So this, because of this applicability of rule 36.4, now your reconciliations have become a little bit tiresome. You have to do all these reconciliations. When, what amount was taken, what amount was left, and the amount left, it's taken when. So you have to do all these reconciliations properly. Okay, so let's move ahead now. That is GSTR 1 offline. Okay. So GSTR1 offline. In the last class, we have done GSTR1 online filing, how the online filing is done. Dear, GSTR1 offline is very much similar to what we have done online. The only difference is that now you won't be working directly on the portal, you will be working on some utility. So let's do one thing. Let's move on the portal first and let's see how does it happens. Where do you download? Where are the options given? Let's see that. So I went to my gst.gov.in, downloads, offline tools, return offline tools. I click on it and here you get the download button. Is the screen not visible to every one of you? Sayali is saying screen is not visible to her. Is it visible to everyone else? Okay, okay, fine. So what will happen? Okay, we are there on the offline tools, return offline tool, download, click on download, and what will get download? A zip file will get downloaded in your system. You need to download it, save it with your system. So I have already downloaded it today. So this is the GST offline tool. What we have downloaded, is it in a zip format? I have just converted this zip format into my normal folder. When you open it, so there are multiple things available, right? So this is your offline tool, GST offline tool. When you will click on it, it will start doing the installations. Installation takes approximately 3 to 5 minutes. So I have already done in my system. So as to not to waste more time in the class, it's just very simple. You have to say go ahead, and last finish, your installation will be done. These are the templates that are provided in your offline folder when you download. For GSTR1, my important templates are GSTR1 Excel book, template this, and section wise CSV files. So these are the section wise files. If I'm like, I don't want to upload each and every file together, the entire GSTR1 together, I can upload section wise files also. These sections are nothing, don't worry about it. If you remember, in the GSTR1 online filing, there were multiple boxes, approximately 16-17 boxes were there, which we have filled. So these are those boxes only, nothing else, exactly the same. Okay, so let's first go on the portal on this offline tool, and then we will see the workbook, the Excel file. So try to save the offline tool on your desktop. So I have already installed it. Okay. So once you do that, it will ask you 3 questions. First is, you want to upload new invoices or other data to the return. Okay, Pranavi is asking a question, very valid question, that offline tool is used when there are many transactions. How many number of transactions? Above 500 transactions, it is mandatory for you to go ahead with the offline tool. It is mandatory. But below that as well, I won't say for 10 transactions, go on the offline tool. But even if you have 200, 250 transactions, it's better to use the offline tool or the Excel utility. See, entering 200 transactions manually into the system, it will take an entire day of your staff. Whole entire day. So it's just sheer wastage of time. Working in Excel is quite easier as compared to working on the online portal. So it asks you, the offline tool, do you want to upload new invoice or other data for the return? If you have to make any changes in your return, you can make it here. If you want to open downloaded return file from the GST portal, why this would be needed? It is saying that, do you want to download the return file from the GST portal? Why it would be needed? The simple answer is that your GSTR1, if you are into e-invoicing or you are raising e-way bills, your GSTR1 gets automatically drafted on the basis of the e-invoices raised by you, right? So when it gets made through the e-invoices raised by you, then what you need to do is that if you want to make any changes from the portal, you will download your return and then you will open that JSON file from here. Let's see that. I can show you, but I don't have a e-invoicing system with me. I am not eligible to do e-invoicing right now, but I'll show from where to download. Just wait a minute. Let me open the user ID and the passwords. Okay. So once I go there, system is moving a little bit slow today. What happened? Wait a minute. Let's log in again. Okay, so if I'll go to this, I'll say July. I want to go ahead with my GSTR1. So when I said offline, I went to the offline mode. I'll show you again. So I selected July, search, GSTR1. There are two modes given. You want to prepare online or you want to prepare offline. So when I say prepare offline, this is the section for upload. I can upload the JSON file which I'll be creating through the offline tool over here, or I can download data for GSTR1. If I have some data, I have said that I want to download my GSTR1 JSON file, which is automatically generated on my portal. So I have placed my request on the GST portal. Generally, all your request for downloading of JSON file takes 20 minutes. So I have placed it. It is saying your request for generation is accepted. It may take up to 20 minutes to complete. So when you will come back after 20 minutes, it will display a message that your file is ready to download. You can download it. Yes, Nandini, it will be a JSON file. GST portal entirely work on the JSON 2. Okay. So this is the area. Whatever I'm going to download from there, I can open it here. If I want to see, these are the data uploaded from my GST portal directly from e-invoicing. Let me explain you practically. Like I have a client who has approximately 2,500 invoices every month, and he is liable to file the returns through e-invoicing. He has to raise e-invoices. So his return data automatically get generated from the e-invoicing portal. I download the JSON file, then I open it here, because generally what happens is that even it has a very big accounts team, one or two invoices are always created with some errors. So I get a list from them that these are the invoices for which we have generated the e-invoices with some error. We want you to rectify on the GSTR1 portal. So I'll do the rectification on my portal then. Okay. And the last one is open download error file from GST portal. When I'm generating my entire GSTR1 data through this portal offline, then I'll create a JSON. I'll upload it on the GST portal here. After uploading it, it shows a message. The file processed without any error. Or it will show me a message, file processed with errors. So if my file is processed with errors, it will generate my error file. Okay. Again, it would be in JSON format. I will download that JSON file, the error file, and I will upload it here. Open downloaded error file from GST portal. So when I'll open my error file here, I'll be able to see that these are the errors committed and I can rectify them. Okay, good to go ahead. So let's move and let's start filing. Let's see how to create the data in that. So it will ask me some basic questions. It is GSTR1 IFF or GSTR2. Then GSTIN of supplier, I'm mentioning my own GSTIN. Financial year, tax period, I'm generating it for July. Okay. It's working very slow today. I was trying even in the morning. Am I SEZ taxpayer? No. Am I a quarterly filer? No. Is my aggregate turnover greater than 5 crores in preceding year? See why it is asking me this question, because for the people having turnover more than 5 crore, for them only it is mandatory to go ahead with monthly return filing. But I have voluntarily decided that I'll go for monthly return filing. It is asking me this question, so I'll say no. I don't have a turnover greater than 5 CR. It's just the display of what the information we have fed. I'm saying yes. So this portal opens. I just fed into just a sample entry for you here. Can I have one GSTI number? So I'll show you how to make the entries. Anyone? Any GSTI number and the name of the GSTI holder. Okay. So it's 27 AAH FC 4739 R1ZQ. Okay. See, Nimish, this GSTI number is provided by Nimish. This was a valid GSTI number, so it has not shown me any error. Let's make some changes and do it something. So when it was an invalid number, it showed me directly at that point only, do enter a valid GSTIN. So it's that strong. Nimish, what is the trade name? Just let me write anything, or just let's write your name only. Nimish. Invoice number, let's suppose this is 77. I am talking about date of invoices 4th of July. I have raised you a bill of 2 lakhs. It's the invoice value, so I'll mention 2,36,000. This is in Maharashtra. It's an interstate supply. By default, these fields get filled up automatically. I'm not filling anything, but this place of supply you can change. If you remember, we have talked about bill to ship to method. If it is bill to here but ship to somewhere else, then I need to change the place of supply. It will determine interstate or intrastate. Then it's asking me which kind of invoice this is. I'm into regular, so I'm mentioning regular. Then it is asking, is this invoice liable to reverse charge? I'm a chartered accountant. My services are not covered under reverse charge. But if I would have been security guards, I supply security guards, which is under mandatory reverse charge, section 9(3). So I would have been checking this box with the right. Then it asks applicable percentage of tax rate. It asks that whether are you falling under this special category. What I remember is that 65% was happening as in the case of car sale prior to January 18, 25th January 18, there was a special rate applicable on the car sale, second-hand car sale specifically. So there the rate was 65%. If my sale is happening through e-commerce, then I'll mention the e-commerce GSTIN. Done. The information is done. Then I'll click on plus. As soon as I'll click on plus, it will show me that which particular rate of services you have rendered, you need to mention. So I have rendered 18% thing. So I'll mention. Over here, it can also happen that your invoice can have multiple rate items. So accordingly, I'll mention the values, the taxable value. 1 lakh here, 1 lakh in 5%, and so on. Save and done. Success. Now I get the message. This detail has been added into my data successfully. So I was adding all these information in which section? B2B invoices 4A, 4B, 4C, 6B, 6C. So all the sections which were there visible to you on the online portal, all the boxes, similar boxes exactly the same are mentioned here. So आपको जिस किसी में भी डिटेल डालना है आप वो सिलेक्ट करेंगे. You will just select whatever you have to input and accordingly you will input your data. Okay. Then it also gives you an option of import files. If I'll click on this, it will give you an option. Do you want to import an Excel? That we will learn in the meanwhile if I want to do the things with this Excel file. Okay. So Pranavi has come with the same question. She is asking, we have to enter manually all the invoice detail or can we import through any template? So that is the same thing, Pranavi. So this is an import option available to you. If you want to import an entire Excel, you will do through that Excel file. If you want to upload things section wise, so you have this. So you have this section wise CSV files. CSV files, don't you worry, they will open. They just work like an Excel file. So if you want to upload anything in this, so let's suppose this is B2B file I want to upload. I will fill up the data here like this and I'll save it and upload the CSV file over there. Okay, Excel file entirely we are going to take. Just let's finish this thing and then we'll take. And back. So this is one option. Then there is another option if you want to delete all data. If a deletion has to be done, then you will delete the entire data and then you will re-enter the data if you want to do that. Like what can happen by mistake, you have entered some other person's file data in this file, so I have to delete it. Clear section data. If you want to delete a particular section data, you can use that and just say yes. So yes, it has deleted everything. If I'll say I want to delete all data, it will say continue. If I'll click yes, it will click delete everything. So my section data is deleted. So currently there is no data in my system. So Sayali is asking a question that if my Tally or any other ERP I'm using, if that generates an Excel file, can I upload the data through that particular Tally or Excel file into the portal? See, Sayali, about other ERPs, I'm not sure because ERPs generate in the basic Excel file. But when I talk about the Tally, I have heard that Tally can help you doing the online things. But if I talk about the portal offline things, what it says is that you have to upload the data in this file only. It has to be in the same format because this file has a lot of macros based on which it works, right? Milind is saying it's better to upload XLS data. Milind, obviously it's better to upload XLS data, but you need to do what thing? Whatever Excel you are taking out from your ERPs, you need to do copy pasting on this format and then you can go ahead with the offline uploading of the data. I also do it like that. I never prefer my staff working on this manual entry one by one. Even if there are 20 entries, I ask please don't waste your time putting up 20 entries here and then you are going to upload. I don't prefer that. Can I have once again one more GST number? Just want to show you how the summary is generated. One GST number, please. Okay. So this is Shitich Venture. I'm just mentioning any details. So this is uploaded. Okay. So when I'll go to my summary, Understand, this summary is very important. So what the summary table will do, it will show you section wise how many invoices you have uploaded, what is the amount of GST. It will show you everything over here, section wise. However, it is mentioned that summary doesn't capture for sections nil rated invoices and document issued, as no tax or ITC is applicable for it. However, the file that you will generate, the JSON file, that will capture all the data and accordingly it will be input in your GSTR1. So once I get my summary details, I need to verify at least my numbers are correct or not. It's the exact GST amount and exact number of invoices that have been uploaded. If it is okay, then I'll say generate file. So it has generated the file now and it is saying that you can click on this link and I'll say download. I'll say save. And it will ask me that where do I want to save. So it's today's session and I'm saying save it. Okay, download completed. So if I'll go to the folder, where it went, I think, okay, by mistake it went in tomorrow's folder. So this is the JSON file that is saved in my system. You can see it is a JSON file. So once I have a JSON file, what I'll do, I'll go onto my portal and I'll say invoice upload. It's my GSTR1 offline mode, upload tab. I'll say choose file, the JSON file, and I'll go on my section that, where is it? I'll select and choose it. People, I'm not doing it because sometimes the portal acts very finicky. Once the data uploaded, it creates a lot of trouble for me to deleting it. I don't want that to happen. Okay, so that's why I'm not uploading it. But till this step I have shown you. So once you upload it, it will give you a message, the file processed without any error. And then you will go to this back to file returns. And when I'll open my July data, when I'll open this prepare online, I'll be seeing over here one invoice and one data. So I'll be seeing everything over here. Okay. I believe offline tool at least is understandable to everyone. Let's move on to the Excel sheet. So this Excel sheet, what I do, I'm telling you my process. I copy this sheet. So I create folders for all of my clients. A very separate folder is created for everyone. So in the separate folder, I copy this file, just copy paste, Control C and Control V. I copy this file and paste it in their respective folders. And then I do my working, whatever I want to do. It's the same file I work upon. So let's open this file. Though it appears it's a very big file, a huge number of sheets are there, how we will work upon, but it's exactly the same and very simple the way we have done on GSTR1 online portal. So help instructions, these are really helpful. There might be certain scenarios that sometimes you are lost, that what I need to input while filling up this Excel tables. You can come back to this help instruction. I believe 70 or 80% of the problems are solved by this instruction template. Okay, so let's move ahead. So this is my first tab. Very clear, this is B2B tab, that is business to business. So if I have to enter business to business detail, what I'll mention, the GSTIN or the UIN, his name, invoice number, invoice date, invoice value. Just make sure you are not changing the invoice date format. Please don't change it. If in your system you are writing it like 14.07.2017, when you paste it here, please paste the values. Don't paste the digits. Or to be very frank, how you can do is that, let's suppose you have imported your data from any of your ERP and your ERP comes out with the date like this. I think I have, okay, this is not a part of GST compliance, but I'm telling you, this is a part of Excel thing. This is not a date. Excel does not recognize this as a date. For Excel, this is just a text. What is a date? It is as per your system format. So my system is following this format. This is a date. To show you one more thing, how with blind eyes, you can see what is a date, what is not. Over here, your date is in the left alignment. It's left aligned. However, in this cell, your date is right aligned. See, while typing both the numbers, I have not given any specific instruction or command to Excel. I have just written the dates in two formats. Then why it took this date on the left alignment and this on right alignment? Because for Excel, this is a text. Why text? How can you can judge this is a text? We write English from where? Left to right. We start writing from left and we proceed right. So that is why this is a text. It is from left to right. But when it is written as a number, the date, it is in the right line, because how do you write numbers? On the left side. Like let's suppose I have to write any number. I write it over here. Okay. Nandini is asking why slash. Nandini, date format. If you are seeing your laptop screen, on the right corner downwards, you must be able to see the date and time on your system. So that is the time format you are using, the date format. Your system recognizes this format only. So I have written in that format, it automatically took into the dash. See over here, you can see it is a date format. And one more thing, these dates are just numbers for Excel. If I'll convert this date into a number, it is giving me a number. There is a logic behind this number. Okay, I'm not deviating from my topic. Why this number? This is another logic of Excel. I'll explain it later. But see, when I convert this into a, so this is a short date. So when I'll copy and move to my this GSTR1 sheet, so I'm going to paste it. What it is doing, it is not taking in the format in which this sheet is taking. So when I'll upload, when I'll create a JSON file, for sure it is going to generate a issue for me. See over here, these particular cells are also not visible because this is a macro based workbook. You cannot make changes. So you have to make sure that whenever you are mentioning dates in this particular sheet, it has to be as per the format of the sheet. If it is, then no errors. If you have mentioned in any other format, it will show you errors. And since what I pasted here was in a date format and I did the format painter over here, it converted it into the correct format. But if I would have been writing, let's see, does it do or not? I'm not sure. Let's see, format painter. See, it's not converting this into this 14 July 21 because this is not a date. This is just a text. Okay. Just be careful about the formats in which the data is entered into Excel. Then only your JSON file will be generated without errors. This is exactly a number without any commas. Then place of supply, you have to choose. It's a drop down thing. All the states will be mentioned. Accordingly, you have to do reverse charge applicable or not, control N and control Y. Applicable rate 65% wala lagta hai nahi lagta, you need to check. Intra-state supply is attracting IGST. Deemed supply, SEZ, regular, you have to mention. If it is through e-commerce, then you need to mention the e-commerce GST and then your rate, taxable value and cess amount. थोड़ा सा आइडिया दे रही हूँ यहाँ पे. कंट्रोल डी कमांड यहाँ पे बहुत frequently यूज होगी when you are working on the Excel sheet. You don't need to do this drop down thing again and again. Use control D. Very easy for you to work then. Control D is creating duplicates. Okay, so in this sheet, you are going to enter your B2B invoices details. Just make sure formats are correct. That's all. See, Excel is a robot. It just needs the formats. So let's move on to the next tab, that is B2B amendment. I am filing the return for the month of July, and if I have to amend any previously uploaded invoice, maybe of April or May, then I will do it as B2B amendment. I'll go here, I'll write the GST and all the required information, then original invoice number. What was the original invoice number? Then what is the new invoice number that I'm mentioning? That revised date and all other information, just a similar information as was there in the B2B. So see, people, to be very frank, I would expect if you really want to expertise in this GSTR1 filing, we get scared by seeing 16, 17 boxes to be filled. It appears like a huge task. Take a small return or just go to your own portal and try to fill up every box. First, do it online. So when you will do it online, you will actually realize what all information is required there. So once you do that, be it offline, be it your through Excel, everything will be easy. Okay. Just work wisely on Excel. Second thing, invoice numbers. I think I've told you in the offline online thing as well. Please mention proper invoice number. It will create an error. This file is going to generate an error file if the original invoice number, as you have mentioned while originally uploading that invoice in the April month. Let's suppose I want to amend a bill of April. So whatever invoice number you have mentioned while uploading the similar bill in the April month, you have to mention the same invoice number. When I say same, space, backslash, full stop, dash, semicolon, whatever things you have used, exactly the same. There cannot be any changes. Generally, people maintain a specific series for revised invoice number, like they are maintaining in the S. I prefer maintaining it in R. So I come to know that this is a revised invoice. After that, we are moving to this B2CL. B2CL, large invoices for the customers having value more than 2.5 lakhs. You mention it here. Place of supply, rate, taxable. It's not GSTI number is not there because it is of unregistered customers. Then if you have to make any amendment in the previously uploaded B2CL invoices, you can mention the new revised invoice over here. Original invoice, date, then original place of supply, your revised invoice number, date, value, rate, taxable value, and cess if involved. Then there is B2CS. Okay, B2CS, it will ask you first question, OE and E. OE and E, इसका मतलब होता है, E means if the sale is through e-commerce operator, and OE means other than e-commerce operator. So if the sale is through e-commerce operator, then you need to mention E. If it is mentioned E, over here you need to mention the e-commerce GSTIN. If it is other than e-commerce operator, then you don't need to mention the e-commerce operator's GSTIN. Okay. This B2CS data is state-wise and rate-wise. This we had already discussed in the online class where we have mentioned online return filing we have studied. Okay. So B2CS data will come here. Then it is B2CS amended. If you want to amend any of the previously uploaded B2CS data, you can do it here. Then there is CDNR. I'm taking the names as per this, the tab names, CDNR. So Pranavi is asking one question, is the same template would be used for the dealers who are eligible to upload e-invoicing? Okay, Pranavi, it's a practical question. I am not going theoretically. Practically, what happens is that for the e-invoicing people, their data automatically gets generated into the GSTR1. So I get a automatically filled GSTR1 for the e-invoicing eligible people. It has never happened for me that their data, what they have uploaded in the e-invoicing portal was correct. It has never happened. They always come back with minimum 10 to 20 invoices saying that, ma'am, we have committed this mistake and we want you to rectify. It becomes actually difficult and very difficult for my staff to dig out those 10 invoices out of that 2000 or 2500 invoices. So what we prefer is that, see, their systems are capable enough. I get the entire data in Excel as I was getting earlier prior to e-invoicing. I get that data. I delete whatever is there on the portal automatically uploaded from the e-invoicing portal. I delete that. Then I use these Excel templates only to upload the new file. I do it like that to save my time. Okay. Then there is CDNR. CDNR is credit notes for the registered people. If there is any credit note to be issued for a registered party, you will issue here. This is same GSTIN. You need to mention the receiver name, your note number, whatever the credit note number you people are following, the credit note date, the date. Then you need to mention whether it is a credit note or a debit note, C or D, then place of supply. Is reverse charge applicable on this? What kind of note this is? As was there available in the B2B. Then note value means the entire note invoice value. Then applicable rate and rate of tax and taxable value. Very favorable and very welcome change that was done by the department was that earlier when we were raising the credit note or the debit notes, it required one-to-one mapping. A credit note to be issued in respect of one tax invoice has to be separate. So for separate tax invoice, a separate credit note. So there was one-to-one mapping. Now it has been finished. You can issue one credit note for multiple tax invoices at once. You don't need to have multiple invoices. Okay. Pranavi is again continuing to her e-invoicing thing. What if there is no error in e-invoicing data? Pranavi, if there is no error, go ahead and just file the return. You don't need to do anything then. Okay. So CDNR, then again same is CDNR amendments. If there are any amendments you have to do in the previously uploaded amendment, you can do that over here. Previously uploaded credit note, debit note, you can amend it here. Then CDNR unregistered, if you have to raise the credit debit note for unregistered, who all are falling in the unregistered, that is your exports. So these terms are B2CL. B2CL is invoices more than 2.5 lakhs. EXP, WP is export without payment of tax, with payment of taxes, and export WOP is export without payment of taxes. Okay. So this is how it happens. Now this is the note number, note date, the type of you want to create the note, and the similar information. Okay. Then there is CDNR unregistered amended. If something you have raised in the previous past and you want to amend it, you will amend it here. Okay. Then there is export details. This was something again asked in the previous class as well, that what if we are not filling the port code, shipping bill number, shipping bill date information, can we still upload the export invoices? Yes, of course. You can upload your export invoices without those information. It will get uploaded, but I'll suggest next month return filing, when you get the entire data, go and amend your export invoices. So next tab is export amendment. If you want to amend, you can amend it here. You can put in the information. So there are two drop downs here, without pay and with pay. If you have an LUT, then you would be making the exports without pay, and if you don't have an LUT, you will be making the exports with pay. Okay, invoice number, invoice date is with you, your tax invoicing thing. Invoice value, port code, shipping bill, it comes out from the shipping bill data. Then there is this exports amended. Then there is advances. If there are any advances received, I've told you in the last class, for the supplier of goods, there is no GST on advances received for the goods. But for services, there is an advance. If you are receiving any advance, you are liable to pay the GST on the advances received. So you will mention here which particular place of supply this is and what is the rate. And accordingly, you will make the data for the advances received. This is for amendment. So every box has an amendment box as well. So this is a common thing that they are following, through which you can revise any of your mistake file previously. Then there is advance adjustment. So let's suppose I have received an advance in the month of April for 2 lakhs. Now in the month of July, I'm raising my final invoice of 5 lakh rupees. So the invoice data will come in the B2B thing if it is a B2B customer of mine. So entire invoice for 5 lakhs will appear in B2B. But over here, I will adjust the advance of 2 lakh rupees because I have already paid taxes on 2 lakh. Now I am adjusting 2 lakh here, but invoice would be entirely of 5 lakh. Okay. Okay, so few questions I'm taking in between. Alaguji is saying that changes only in shipping bill number and shipping date. Yes, these are the amendments. You can do it. Nowhere the portal says that you need to mention a revised invoice. You can mention the same invoice number. I'm just adding up the details which I have not filled in previously. It can be done. Very well done. And then Nandini is asking what is cess amount. Nandini, cess is like any other cess. Like in income tax, you have education cess, your secondary higher education cess, health cess. So similarly, cess are there. There are few products on which cess is applicable in GST, like luxury cars. If you are going to purchase Mercedes, BMW, they carry a cess. Liquors, they have cess. So you don't have to calculate. If your output liability or your input consists of it, you need to mention it then. Okay. Then there was one question. Pranavi was saying that if I can show the e-invoicing thing on the GSTR1 portal. See, Pranavi, I myself, I'm like for the currently when we are doing anything on the portal, I'm using my user ID and password. So I am not eligible for e-invoicing thing. So my portal won't work. I am not authorized to show for my clients. In case you have any one of you is having any SSE or customer or you yourself, anyone has e-invoicing obligation and they have the e-invoicing portal, you can show it to me. Then I'll show you how it happens on the portal. So Milind is agreeing to me that making rectification in the e-invoicing data in the GSTR1 was a headache. Actually, it was a headache. Okay. Milind is asking accounting for advances. I'll tell you. No need to worry. I'll tell you. Ganeshji is saying how to edit after online upload B2B data. So Ganeshji, if you have already uploaded the data and now you want to amend the B2B data before submitting your return. So you will again take your data. Like let's suppose you might be working on this Excel file. So go into your Excel file, make the changes in the B2B file, again generate a JSON and again upload it. So what it will do, see portal, what happens is that whatever is same, portal does not hits it, but whatever is changed, portal updates that changes. But it has a warning signal with it. It's a big warning. Many times what portal does is that it has happened with me, that is why I'm telling. So once my client was having 500 invoices, I uploaded it through the Excel utility. Now there were some mistake when I received from the client and it was a major mistake. So I have to revise all the invoices. So what we did, we again made another Excel, made it with the correct data and uploaded it on the portal. Now what the portal did, it generated 500 plus 500 invoices. So there were 1000 invoices on my portal. And we tried each and everything to get it deleted. We raised queries, we went to help desk, but it was not solved. So we have to opt for another procedures like credit notes, debit notes. We did like that to rectify it, but it was a blunder from the portal and it happened only in one SSE's thing. So that is I'm telling this is a warning signal with the portal. Okay. So this is the advances adjustment. Amendment, if you have to do in the advances adjustment amendment, you can do it here. Over here, you mention your nil rated, exempted, and non-GST supplies. Similarly, on the online portal, HSN things, you have to feed all your HSN summary, measurement, quantity, rate, you measure it, you write it here. And then docs, what all docs, it has a drop down, you need to choose it from here, what all documents are there you want to generate. And then there is a so this is how your entire worksheets, whatever sheets you are going through, it has been mentioned here. You can go here. Okay. So once you fill this Excel file, what you need to do is that then you will again go into your this portal. Over here, you will say import files and you will import your Excel. After importing the Excel, it will upload all the data and then it will show you a summary. So once you do import Excel, then you say view summary. So whatever data is uploaded, you can view it in the summary table, and then finally, if everything is right, you can go ahead with generation of the file. Okay, good. Pranavi is asking, advances is the advances received from customer before issuing invoices? Yes, correct, Pranavi. Sometimes you receive advances before starting the job, and then after completion of the job, you raise your final bills. Okay, I believe this is the offline thing, how you file offline GSTR once. You will be able to do everything. So before going for the break, I'll cover a very small topic for today. That is your LUT, because after break, e-way bills are going to take time. So we will be picking up e-way bills after this. We will be going on the portal and seeing how it is happening. So just to show you, it's logged out again. I have to log in. LUT, I think in one class I've asked you people that what is LUT, and most of you have answered it very correctly. LUT is the letter of undertaking, which is taken for the purpose of exports. If you are into exports, you are going to take the LUTs. So in the services, user services, then I have to say furnish letter of undertaking. I'll fill it up for you, but I'm not going to submit it. I don't need a letter of undertaking. Okay, so you need to mention for which financial year you are going to apply, for 21-22 or 22-23. It is giving me an option for the next financial year as well. So I'm going to apply for 21-22. If there is any previous LUT that I have taken, so I'll choose file here and upload it. I can upload my previous LUT. Then there are few declarations that the portal requires, and you need to fill those declarations, which are that I'll export goods or services without payment of IGST within time specified, that is 3 months. 3 mahine mein I should receive the payments. I will follow all the provisions, and if I am not going to follow the provisions, there would be a tax at the rate of 18% per annum interest. That's all mentioned. And then there is, you have to mention 2 witnesses details. Any 2 persons of your organization can be the witness. It's just the information as is mentioned in the Aadhaar card. You can take their Aadhaar cards and fill it up. Once you fill it up, mention the name of the primary signatory, place and upload it either with DSC or with EBC. Now rules regarding LUT. First thing, LUT can be filed at any time of the year, any time, but it will be valid for what period? Date of filing of LUT till the end of that particular financial year. So let's suppose I file an LUT for the current financial year as on 7th of August. So validity period of my LUT will be 7th August 2021 to 31st March 2022. So generally, I prefer that LUTs should be applied by the end of the March. So people who are into exports, be it export of goods or services, not even a single invoice should go with GST. If it goes, then I have to do the refund filing process for them. So LUTs should be applied by the end of March so that for the next entire financial year, it is available with you. Second, the validity is up to the end of the financial year only. So it's a task for every year to be done. Don't be of the opinion that once applied, lifetime ka kaam ho gaya. No, it's for up to the end of the financial year only. Third thing, people talk about approval of LUT. How do we get the approval? There is no such approval thing happening in case of LUT. Once I file the LUT, I sign it, a ARN number is generated. That ARN number along with the form is there. That is the only LUT approval. So my LUT approved from that day only. I'll keep that LUT with me and furnish that LUT declaration with all my export invoices. That I am supplying goods and services under an LUT. I need to mention that. So there is no specific approval. In case anything comes out, so within 3 days, you can receive a notice from the department asking for some clarifications. You need to answer those clarifications and then you're good to go ahead with your LUTs. Okay. Okay. Veena ji is saying that if the amount is not received within 3 months, what are the implications? Whether we have to pay GST with interest or whether we will have to reverse proportionate GST credit taken. Veena ji, when you are saying that exports, that I am going to make the exports and I am going to receive the payments within 3 months. If I am not receiving the payments within 3 months, it is treated as a normal tax invoice. So if it is a normal tax invoice, you are liable to pay the GST. Still, it is an export, but you cannot take the benefit of LUT then. You have to receive the payments, you are liable to pay GST along with interest. Actual due date comes when? The date of the tax invoice. So from then, the 3 months have elapsed. Now you have to pay the GST along with interest. Then only things will happen. Okay. So currently people, time is 7:15. We will take a break of 10 to 12 minutes. Be sharp back on time. E-Waybill will take time to be explained on the portal. So entire 1 hour will be spent on that. Okay. So be back sharply at 7:17. Okay. Hi everyone. Is everyone back? Okay, let the people come and join. So let's take few questions that have come during this break time. Am I audible, right? The first class has actually created a terror in my mind that am I audible or visible or not to everyone. Okay, so there are few questions which says Veena is saying that I have applied LUT in May 21. Whether it is applicable for all invoices raised during financial year 21-22. Veena, to be more specific, let's suppose you have applied on 15th May 2021. Okay, so your LUT is applicable from 15th May 2021 to 31st March 2022. So all the export invoices which have been raised during this period, only for those invoices you can claim the exemption, that is without payment of taxes. But for the invoices raised before that, you have to make the payment of taxes. So on the same term, there is a question by Nandini. She says that I have applied LUT today, but I have received the payment in the month of April 2021, rupees 1 lakh. So Nandini, further questions on your question, whether it was in advance or whether it was a payment against the invoice raised. So if it is against invoice raised, then you have to discharge the invoice liability along with GST because you were not having LUT as on the date of the invoice. But if it is an advance, then another question arises whether it was an advance for goods or advance for services. If services, you are liable to pay taxes, but if it was for goods, you're not liable to pay taxes. So all the rules you have to apply all the rules together. Okay, perfect. So let's move ahead and we are going directly on the portal now because we are starting our next topic, that is e-way bill portal. So we can go directly from here as well. E-way bill system. It's going to take me on the e-way bill portal. Clicking it here and proceed. So this is the e-way bill portal. I think I have shown you all in the first session when we were doing the intro session that this is the e-way bill portal. Okay. So for today's class, I'm going to use my registration details to fill the e-way bill things. Just to repeat once again what e-way bill was, basics again, few basics. If people have missed during the first session, e-way bills are required for the movement of goods, be it by road, be it by rail, be it by sea, be it by air. Anything, any movement. For Delhi, the limits are, if I talk about Delhi, intrastate limit is 1 lakh, and for interstate, the limit is 50,000. So if I am supposed to make supply of goods whose value is above rupees 50,000 interstate, I have to issue a e-way bill along with my invoice. If the value is 1 lakh and the supply has to be made within the state, then I have to issue a e-way bill. Now, e-way bill has two parts, part A and part B. Without filling both the parts, like what many times people do, they fill up the part A, but they don't fill up part B completely, your e-way bill is invalid. Try doing that once. You can do it on your portals. If you generate a e-way bill without filling part B, you will get a PDF of the e-way bill, but on the very top of the e-way bill, it would be mentioned this is an invalid e-way bill. So it does not hold any validity. We will be dealing in depth what is part A, what is part B. Next thing is that who can issue an e-way bill? Okay, who can issue a e-way bill? First, if I am a registered supplier, it's my duty to raise the e-way bill along with my tax invoice, delivery challan, bill of supply, whatever I am issuing. It's my duty to raise the registered supplier. And let's suppose I am a registered customer, but I am making purchase from what? I am purchasing from an unregistered supplier. Unregistered supplier. So since my supplier is unregistered and he does not have a GST portal and he does not have a e-way bill registration, but my goods are having value above 1 lakh and it's an intrastate transaction that is happening. So I as a registered customer is liable to issue the e-way bill. So I as a purchaser will raise the e-way bill then. Okay, then this can be done by part A, done by both. Part B, it can be updated either by them or the transporter. Even the transporter has the authority to update the part B. Part B basically contains the detail of the particular transportation system, the vehicle number through which you are going to make the transfers. Okay. Okay. So then this is how part A and part B are to be filled. Nandini, I don't need to repeat. We will be doing it online, then it would be obviously repeated again when we'll go on the portal. So transporter, now all these are those who are registered, either a registered supplier or a registered customer. Then there is a transporter also, but transporter may not be registered. Okay. As we have discussed and as per law, transporters, the GTAs, they don't get registered if they take the 5% slab rate of GST. So they might not be registered, or they might be scenario their income is less than 20 lakhs. So many GST laws, many sections which are applicable. If the transporter is not registered, then he has an option to take e-way bill registration, e-way bill portals registration through his ID. Any ID, it's mentioned his Aadhaar card or PAN card, based on which he can take the e-way bill portal registration. Similarly, there is a question, I think there is a question which was being asked. I really like the question, that if suppose both the supplier and the customer, both are not registered, then what we'll do? So the portal even provides you with an option to register yourself as a citizen. Okay. तो आप as a citizen भी registered कर सकते हो, even if you don't have a GSTI number, even that option is available. So as a supplier or as a customer, you will get registered and accordingly you will generate the e-way bill. Okay. Okay. Any other question? So let's see the portal. If you will see the portal, so in the registration, 3 options are given. You want to do e-way bill registration as a registered person, enrollment for transporter for those transporters who do not have a GSTIN, e-way bill for citizens. If I am a registered person and I have to take some goods or make some delivery of goods which is above the values, then I can register myself over here and transfer it. Okay. So I am directly going for login. The registration process is very simple. You just need to input your GSTIN numbers, and as per your GSTIN number, it has recorded data regarding your registered mobile number and registered email ID. OTPs will be sent to you, and then you can just register yourself. So registration on the e-way bill portal is not difficult. So let me just take out the user ID and passwords for my portal. Sorry. How is it happening? I've just logged in before the class and it was logging it. Wait a minute. Let me clear my cache memory. Let's see it works or not. Is the site working slow today? Wait a minute. Let me open another browser. Let's see it will work from there or not. I am visible and audible to every one of you. Na? So I'm just trying to see, is there any network issues on my system? Let me try just okay. I do remember what mistake I'm doing. Okay, done. So actually I was doing a mistake. So when in the evening I was trying to log in, I had to change my password. It has mandatorily asked me to change the password and I was trying the previous password. Okay, so this is the basic infra, the basic things that would be visible to you once you open your e-way portal. Okay, so what basic reports are generated? Let's see that. E-way bills generated by me. It is showing me the e-way bills that I have generated. See, I am a service provider, so I'm not required to generate e-way bills. So that is why it is showing 0, 0. Okay. Then e-way bills cancelled by me. If there were certain e-way bills that I have generated and if I have cancelled it, then it will be appearing over here, the e-way bills that I have cancelled. Then it is e-way bills rejected by me. If there is any e-way bill that was flowing to me from any other party, let's suppose I am making purchase from any party and that party has generated a e-way bill on me, I'm able to see that on my portal and I'm like, I have not made this purchase, so I can reject it. So if I have rejected any e-way bill, it will appear here. If there is any e-way bill generated by any other party on my GSTIN, it will appear here. You can see this because it is showing 1-1. So I am too curious to see what exactly it is. It's not showing the report here. Let's leave it right now. I'll tell you that. then if there is any e-way bill rejected by other parties, so over here I was having the right to reject the e-way bill. What will appear here if I have raised any e-way bill and that is rejected by the other party? And the last one is if there is any e-way bill that I have generated, the part A I have generated, but the part B is still pending. So all the statistical figures will be available to you over here. So let's go with the creation of e-way bill first. So this is e-way bill, generate new. Okay. So once I create generate new, this thing is visible to you. The very first question it is asking to you, do you want to generate the e-way bill for an outward supply or for an inward supply? So as we have discussed, generally it's the supplier on whom it is obligatory to generate the e-way bill if the amount of the invoice is above the said limits. But if my supplier is not registered, I am as a customer, I am going to raise the e-way bill, then it would be an inward supply. So let's see first what are there in the outward and then we will come to the inward thing. So this is an outward supply. Then it is asking supply type. There are different types of supply. First is normal supply, normal transaction that is happening, movement of goods. Second is export. If it is your export of goods that is happening, then you will go ahead with this. Third is job work. If you are raising a delivery challan for job work, it is delivery challan which is raised, not a tax invoice, because my goods moved from my place to the place of the job worker on the basis of a delivery challan. So if it is for job work, then it is asking SKD, CKD and lots. What is SKD and CKD? SKD is semi-finished. What exactly is this? SKD, CKD and lots. It is semi knocked down. That is completely knocked down. CKD is completely knocked down, or in lots. I'll explain all the three to you. Semi knocked down situation. Let's suppose I am importing a plant and machinery from a supplier. Now the plant and machinery is so huge, it cannot come in a single truck. So what the supplier can do, it can just knock it down, few parts, few separations are made, and I'll get, let's suppose that machinery gets separated into 4 pieces. So 4 pieces are coming by 4 trucks. Completely knocked down situation when the entire machinery is totally dismantled and entire thing is coming separately, might be in 2-3 trucks, 4 trucks, 5 trucks, whatever. And lots, let's suppose my tax invoice talks about I'm going to make a supply of 10 lakh units of any particular thing to my customer. Now 10 lakh units cannot come in single truck, it will go in multiple trucks. So when it go in multiple trucks, so it means lots. One more rule what GST follows is that if such is the case, multiple trucks are going, what documents you will issue? So there is one tax invoice only. Obviously, you cannot raise multiple tax invoices. There is only one tax invoice, be it SKD, CKD or lots, one tax invoice. You will make delivery challans. So there will be delivery challans for every truck going. So the trucks will be carrying the delivery challans based on which the goods are moving. The last truck, the last installment, they will carry the original tax invoice. So this is how the goods will move, the document that they need to carry along with the e-way bill. So for every delivery challan and finally for the tax invoice, you need to generate separate e-way bills. Okay. So let's come back to this. Then there is recipient not known. So there is not much difference in recipient not known or line sales. What exactly is that? Let's suppose I'm moving my goods. Okay. I'm just taking my goods somewhere and I don't know who will be my customers. On the road, if I get anyone, I'll sell it. So I'm moving my goods on the road. but I don't know my final customers, and wherever I'll get the customer, I'm going to sell it for own use. If I'm a registered supplier, let's suppose I'm a supplier of fridge, the refrigerators, and I want to take it one piece for my own home. So this is not a sale. So it's for my own use. Exhibition or fairs. As a supplier, you are many times required to move your goods for the exhibition purposes. You just carry your things towards the exhibitions and you take it back. It might be you are selling something, or it might be you bring back the entire things back to you and others. This is a general criteria that they have left. Others. So if it is a normal supply, by default it is changing the things. We'll see everything what it is. So if it's a normal supply, so it is saying you need to fill up a tax invoice or a bill of supply. Tax invoice, if I am liable to charge tax. Bill of supply, bill of supply has to be raised by a composition dealer, or it has to be raised by, if your supply is a nil rated or exempted item supply, then it has to be a bill of supply, the document. Then the document number, you have to fill the document number, its date, the transaction type, as you are seeing. First is regular, that my shipping and billing address is same. Then it is bill to, ship to. If bill to and ship to is different, I'm billing it to someone, but the customer asked me to supply the goods at some other place. And third is bill from, dispatch from. It might be I am raising the bill from my registered office address, but the goods are getting dispatched from my another factory or another warehouse. So bill from, dispatch from, and combination of 2 and 3. If both the things are happening, bill to, ship to, and bill from, dispatch from, then it has to be done. So I'm going for a regular. So it is my registration based on my GSTIN. It is taking my information by default. It is my firm name, GSTIN, and my state. My address, everything, it has been filled automatically. Then I have to mention the bill to and ship to. Can I have one GST number? I'll raise the invoice in his or her name. One GST number, please. Can I have the GST number? Okay, so I have the GST number by, let's take it by Rupal, 27 AAA. Sorry, just wait. PB26. Oh, sorry. PB8263 A1Z9. Okay, so by default, it has taken Kshitij Venture. All other details are coming automatically here. Okay. So in the meanwhile, there was a question. If the goods are moved in same building premises and the value is more than 1 lakh, do we still have to create a e-way bill? Pranavi, see, you are talking a theoretical, a very practical question. There is nobody is going to check whether the goods are moving from here to there. But let's talk about legally. Legally, there is a requirement that you should have a e-way bill. See, it's not going to make you a difference if you are going to raise an e-way bill. Raise an e-way bill and show then in the part B that no vehicle is required. You can do that. And also one thing, sorry, by mistake, I left that. Within 20 kilometers, if the goods are moving, you don't need an e-way bill. It can be done. So there are certain limitations. Sorry, Pranavi. So there are certain limitations, certain conditions have been defined of 20 kilometers within which you don't need to raise an e-way bill. So within the same building, you fall within that ambit. You don't need to raise an e-way bill. And it is specifically provided, all the exception details I have provided in the PPT that I will be sharing with you. And then there is one question where Nikhil is asking if the supply is through delivery challan. There was no option giving for delivery challan. See, Nikhil, I had selected an option of supply. So that is why it is not giving me an option of bill of supply. Sorry, delivery challan. When I'll choose job work or when I'll choose SKD, CKD, it will give me an option of this delivery challan. Okay. So I have filled the data. Now I have to fill the data regarding my items. So let's suppose I am writing pen. I am writing gel pen. HSN, I don't know. Let's take it as this. Quantity, I am saying I'm supplying 1 lakh units. So it is by numbers. Taxable value, let's suppose I'm taking the taxable value as 2,50,000. By default, CGST, SGST are closed. It's directly taking me to IGST because it's a interstate supply. Okay, and bill to and ship to are same. So that is why it is taken IGST, and I'm saying it is taxable at 18%. So by default, it will do on its own self the calculations, IGST. If there is cess, I'll add that. If there is any other amount, what is the any other amount? I want an answer from you people. What will come in any other amount? Why this box is given? Cess is okay. If there is cess involved, I'll add. But what is other amount? Some answer, people. Nobody's answering. Silence in my class. Okay. Nobody's answering today. Are you people sleeping? Okay. So what the other amount can happen? What is the other amount exactly? You must have seen. I can charge freight also. I can charge packing charges. I can charge any other additional details like toll taxes or some reimbursements. So if there is any other amount which is included in my tax invoice, I'll mention it over here. Generally, it's the freight. So there are both kind of contracts between buyers and sellers, FOB freight or CIF freights. So depending upon that, the figure can come here. Whether it is a part of my taxable value or whether it is not a part of taxable value, it is just a reimbursement, I will mention the other amount here. Okay. So this is the part A details. So once you fill up this, your part A is generated. Okay. But going ahead is your part B. This is transporter name. Provide your transporter name. If you have the transporter GSTIN, you can mention the transporter GSTIN. If you don't, if your transporter is on the basis of ID, you need to mention the ID. So you are given both the options, transporter GSTIN or transporter enrollment ID. Once you mention the transporter GSTIN over here, the transporter on his portal will get these details that this ABC party has raised a e-way bill mentioning you as the transporter. Okay, it will be there available on his portal that you need to generate the e-way bill now. Okay, then the system is very clever of the e-way bill. It by default takes what is the approximate distance you are required to complete. So pin to pin auto calculated, it is coming out to 1438 kilometers. But if this is pin to pin and some particular way it is taking, and I believe it is not going to be 1438, some plus minus 5%, I can change it over here or I can round it off. Now tell me, at least answer this question of mine. What is the validity period for specified kilometers in the e-way bill? What is the limit? Okay. So Nikhil is saying 200 kilometer for 1 day. Veena is saying 100 kilometer. Okay, 48 hours. 100 kilometer for 24 hours. Okay. So people, before 1st January 2021, it was 100 kilometers for 24 hours. But from 1st January 2021, the limit has been changed and it has been changed to 200 kilometers for one day. So you have to cover 200 kilometers in a day, additional 200 kilometers in another day. So one day for every 200 kilometers now the portal is granting. So if I have to move the goods from Delhi to Maharashtra, the kilometers are 1438 kilometers. So I am going to get approximately 8 days to move the goods from Delhi to Maharashtra. Okay. So once I fill this information with the transporter ID, see, I might not be aware that transporter is going to use which particular truck to move my goods. I might not be aware, right? So I'm not able to fill the vehicle number details. So it will get uploaded till here. Goods will move from my factory up to the transporter's place. If it is within 20 kilometers, they don't need a e-way bill. They can go directly to the transporter's place. And from there, when they will move, transporter will fill up this detail, vehicle number, his document number, जिसको generally business language में बोला जाता है BILT. They will mention the document number, the date, and submit, and a valid e-way bill will be generated having its validity period. That this e-way bill is valid from this date, this time, up to this date and this time. It even mentions the time up to which the e-way bills are valid. Now, we had talked about the travel by road. This is transporter. I'm talking about GTA services generally. So this is by road. We have three other modes. What are those? Rail, air, ship or road, come ship. So on to add on to this, what happens actually when we move our goods through rail? Once your goods reach the railway station, your goods are loaded into the railway station. Thereafter, you get the details of the rail. So once the goods are uploaded, you cannot directly upload your Part B details. You get the details from the railway authorities. You uploaded. What is the rule in moving the goods by rail? Your goods will not get removed at the destination. So if my goods are moving from rail from Delhi to Maharashtra, so once they reach Maharashtra, they will not get removed from Maharashtra railways at the Maharashtrian railway station until unless a valid e-way bill is provided over there. Similarly, is with air, you come to know with air, you know beforehand because you are going to book the air flight details, which particular flight is going to take your details. Then there is ship road. You also get the details from the shipping company and accordingly you can fill up the things. Then there is regular vehicle type. We have talked about the normal trucks. What is this over-dimensional cargo? You must have seen on the highways, there are many trucks which are extremely huge, like carrying big like construction material for the metro plants or carrying big pipes, like Militant Singh project cargo. Those are over-dimensional cargo. So for them, there is no limit of 200 kilometers per day. They have a limit of 20 kilometers per day. So it's different for them because they move really very slow. They have to see the turns and twists and everything. So 20 kilometers per day is the list available to them. Okay. So there is one question in between. Nandini is asking if there is any accident or some other issue and it reached after time, does it has penalty or what? So Nandini, the law very clearly says whatever the timeline has been given by the e-way bill is already a huge timeline. Completing 200 kilometers in a day, it's very simple. Hardly, I believe, 4 or 5 hours, one can complete 200 kilometers. Secondly, FC, there are always chances of the unforeseen circumstances or scenarios happening. If there is an accident, my truck meets with an accident. So what generally happens is that another truck comes over there, the goods get transferred to the new truck, and now the new truck is going to move my goods. So when there is a change in the method or the truck, or even if it is by halfway through road, then by ship, then by plane, whenever there is a change in the mode through which my items are being carried, the part B has to be updated. There is no limit on the number of times the part B can be updated. You can update it multiple times. The way ASAP, if there is any accident and you are changing your truck, update your part B and then your goods can move. Next is that if you want to get your validity extended, right? So you have an option. You can get your validity extended 4 hours before and 4 hours after the e-way bill expiry period. You can get it extended. You need to connect the GST officials and you can get it extended. See, otherwise, e-way bill has a huge penalty involved. If any default is there in terms of e-way bill, the penalty is 100% equivalent to your GST amount plus GST amount. So it's there. And what I've heard is that the new law is bringing this penalty to 200%. There was a change. A notification came, I think, 4 months. It's 8 or 9 months, where the 100% penalty was changed to 200% of the amount equivalent to the GST involved in that particular invoice. Okay. If it is export, okay, it cannot be changed because I have entered the products. I'll delete it. Okay. So now there is export. So exports are on tax invoices. Similar, you need to mention the document number, data number, dispatch from. Now, by default, system has on its own taken URP. Now, what is URP? In bill 2 details, it has taken URP. URP is what? Unregistered person. Since I'm going to make exports, that particular party might be in Canada and it's not registered under the GST law of India. So it is an unregistered person for Indian government, for the Indian territory. Similarly, if you are a person who are making a sale, you are a registered person, you are making a sale above 1 lakh and interstate, you have to raise a e-way bill. But if my customer is not registered, I will mention URP. I'll mention his name and I'll mention URP, that it's an unregistered person. You have to mention URP only, no other term. Once you go on this question mark, you will see enter consignee's GSTIN or URP for unregistered person. This is even the help given while filling up the e-way bill details. Rest all is same. So it's just that you change any of these information. Rest all information will remain the same. Then if I'll click on job work, I think Milind, it was your question. I don't remember. So once it is job work, it's not even giving me a drop down. It has taken by default. It would be a delivery challan and it's not giving me any option. Okay. So delivery challan has come through this, the document number and everything. Bill to ship to model, I'll mention the details and the transporter details. CKD, SKD, again, it's giving me because CKD, SKD, it can be tax invoice, the last lot thing. It can be bill of supply. Let's suppose the item is such that it is exempt, nil rated, and delivery challan for the initial installments. There is recipient not known if it is through delivery challan or others, because when I don't know the recipient means I'm not making the sales. So it is through delivery challan. I'm just taking my goods on the way. It's moving. And then see, bill to and bill from and bill to both are same. When I'm selecting recipient not known, because I don't know to whom and when I'm going to make the sales, right? So just I'm generating a document, the delivery challan, based on which my goods will move on the road and the date I'll make the sale and I know who will be the recipient. I'll issue another tax invoice for own use. Obviously, delivery challan, no tax invoice can be there. Exhibition or fairs, the goods move through delivery challan and wherever your exhibition is happening over there, you can go ahead and file a tax invoice. If the exhibition or fair is happening at a place other than your registered office state, what registration you will take? You will take casual registration. Then you will move the goods. If you are going to make the sales from that particular exhibition place, you mandatorily should take the casual registration because your sales are going to happen from there. Okay. And if it is line sales, again, it should be through delivery challan. Others, it will give no option. It's just giving you delivery, all other option, delivery challan, others. You need to specify. So this is a residual situation that they have given to you. Similar is the scenario if you will choose invert, similar things. Exactly similar. It's just that you as a buyer, you are going to generate the e-way bill. Okay. So on this e-way bill thing, there are multiple things which I wanted to share with you, and I have downloaded that thing. One is this e-way bill validity. I can drop it right now only so that this is a validity 200 kilometer and something. And there is this FAQ document. This is a very good document. I really find it very helpful. All questions, all queries, whichever is there in your mind, you can get a solution from here. I'm just dropping in the file. I think you will get it within a minute. Okay. So one file is there. I think it's on your portals now. Then there is this file. So now I have uploaded another file. I'll show you this file as well. This is from the CBIC portal. So Ganeshji is asking goods dispatch from Delhi to Andhra Pradesh. See, Ganeshji, the place of supply is Andhra Pradesh. So this is an interstate and obviously IGST will be charged. You all have got the two documents that are shared. It's e-way bill validity and e-way bill FAQs. So it's a 28-page thing and a lot of queries, whatever you will be having, all are sorted on this particular FAQ. Still, if there are any queries, feel free to put on the GST forum. I'll answer them. ठीक है, तो चलो आगे चलते हैं. Let's move ahead. I'll say exit. I have exited. So there are now another options available. We went for generate new because we wanted to generate only one e-way bill. Then there is generate bulk. Okay, generate bulk. If something happens when multiple e-way bills have to be selected. So many ERP files, so this is a JSON format that you have to select. So I believe, let's check it out. So most of the softwares generate this e-way bill in bulk as well. Like if I was talking about the suppliers having sales more than 2,500 bills per day, so it would be difficult for them to generate e-way bill for each particular invoice. So this is the area through which you can browse your file with the multiple things and upload it directly here. Okay. Then there is update part B or vehicle. If as a supplier your transporter is like, let's suppose the situation happened that your trucks get damaged during the way, and now the transporter is saying that you need to change the truck now because of any unforeseen circumstances. Now the truck has changed. So what will happen? It will, if it is placing a request to me that you can update part B, the vehicle information, so I can do it. It's only the transporter and me, the person who has generated the e-way bill, Only these two persons have the authority to update the Part B information. No other person can change it. If I want to give the authority to another transporter, my first transporter is carrying my goods from Delhi to Punjab. Now the other transporter will move my goods from Punjab to Maharashtra. So what will happen? I have to update now transporter details, the transporter ID. I as a supplier will go change the transporter ID, and then what will happen? Now the new transporter will get the rights equivalent to me. So either of us can change the transportation details. Okay. Then the next is update vehicle. If you have to update the vehicle details, let's suppose your 2025 invoices, things are going in one same truck and all the truck details have to be changed. You can change it here. Change it to multi-vehicle. Wait a minute. Let's get it open. Okay. So if you will allow to move the goods in multiple vehicles for the selected e-way bill. See, what happens is that I was giving you an example. My goods are to move from here, from Delhi to Punjab by road, then Punjab to Tamil Nadu via train, and then from Tamil Nadu to any sea location by sea, and then by air. So there are multiple vehicles to be updated. So this particular option gives you an option to change the multiple vehicle things over here. Okay. So Rupal is asking me that do you have any generated e-way bill, just to have a look. I'll see, Rupal. I'm not sure whether I've added in my PPT or not, because otherwise the e-way bills that I have, it has the details of my customer. So give me by Tuesday or Wednesday, I'll share it with the team, and e-way bill with all the details hidden. I'll share it with you so that you can see what exactly the e-way bills are. Then there is extend validity. So if you want to do the extension of validity, you need to mention your e-way bill here, and then you will get the form for that, and you need to mention the reason that why exactly you want to get the validity of e-way bill extended. It will provide you with the extension accordingly. One more thing, cancellation of e-way bills. Once you have generated an e-way bill, it cannot be revised. So there is no option available to you to revise an e-way bill generated. The only option available is you can cancel the e-way bill, and that too within a time frame of 24 hours. Beyond that, you cannot cancel a e-way bill. So e-way bill generation has to be very careful. If a mistake done, cancel the e-way bill and generate a new e-way bill. Otherwise, what will happen? It will always appear in your portal that you have a e-way bill generated on the given invoice number. Then there is, if you want to update the EWB transporter, that is your e-way bill transporter. You will mention your e-way bill number, and you want to update the transporter ID, you can do it from here. Then if you want to do it in bulk, you can do it in bulk. If you want to cancel your e-way bill number, so this is an option given. You just need to mention your e-way bill and you will cancel it. Then there is print. If you want to print your e-way bill, this is the option. You can go ahead and print your e-way bill numbers. So this is consolidated e-way bill. So practical scenario, let's talk about a transporter. He is carrying goods and he will fill his truck. Obviously, he won't carry the goods on the road with half of his truck filled. So let's suppose even that one truck, he is carrying goods of 25 suppliers, 25 different persons. Now the 25 suppliers are going to generate their own e-way bill. Will he be carrying 25 e-way bills with him? So what option has been given to him? He can generate a consolidate e-way bill. Or let's suppose it is from the transporter side. I'm talking from my, sorry. So if I'm talking from my point of view, if I have to now generate a e-way bill, now I have generated e-way bill invoice wise. Now I will generate a consolidated e-way bill as mentioned by road, rail or whatever state from where it is moving. Vehicle starts from a vehicle number. Now I just mention the e-way-bill number, automatically these details will be filled. I will add multiple e-way bills for which I want a consolidate e-way bill. So a single e-way bill will suffice for the multiple e-way bills generated. Okay. So there are even certain queries regarding the vehicle number, what kind of format the vehicle number follows, how to write it, this and that. So the FAQs that I have provided, it very clearly deals with the vehicle number format, how to write it if some number is not there, because the e-way bill portal is very specific regarding the vehicle number format. So you can add 0, something like that. Like you can see it here as well. It's in the help, it is given that how do you mention the vehicle number. Okay. So then this is consolidate e-way bills. It's the same options that are given. Otherwise, it's exactly the same options. Then if you want to reject the e-way bills, select the date. You can reject e-way bill within 72 hours of the e-way bill generation or before the validity date. जो सामने वाला party है, if they have generated a e-way bill on my name, I can generate it. Like if I want to see, so this is a e-way bill that is generated in my name. If I want to reject it, I can reject it. Okay. Reports, my e-way bill reports. What exactly do I want to see in the e-way bill reports? Outward supplies, inward supplies, how many e-way bills I have cancelled from this to this date I want to see. So since there is nothing on my portal, I don't use the e-way bill portal, so I can't show you anything over here. Then pending for part B, document information number, outward supplies. Then there is other e-way bill reports generated by others. If I want to see, let's suppose I want to see it from, okay, it cannot take range more than this 5 days. So these are the 2 e-way bills that are generated. So it's the same e-way bill. सामने वाली पार्टी ने क्या किया है? If you can say, they raised one e-way bill on 2nd of August at 10:09. Now they have raised another e-way bill at 5th of August at 11 o'clock. It moved from Bangalore to New Delhi, then it moved from New Delhi to Bangalore. They did it on their own. Okay, let's move back again. So similarly, it's my masters. If I want to generate a master for entering the products, so if I know that I am required to generate e-way bills frequently, I will obviously generate my masters to make my life easy. So once I just mention the HSN code, and automatically my information would be there. So products, clients, suppliers, I can create these masters. If I want to have the e-way bill portal is available to you on all these portals, be it through SMS, mobile, GSP, API, you can go ahead and register yourself over here. Then there is update as transporter or taxpayer. If you want to update anything, it will send the OTP and then you will go ahead with the registration. If I want to go myself and register myself as transporter as well, then only I can update it here. Okay, if I want to lodge any grievance, I can file my grievance over here. See, generally, e-way bill is something that is not required at the part of the, if I talk about the accountant side, but if you are from the customer, the supplier side, e-way bill portal is very important. There is a complete matching of the data as per the e-way bill generated, as per the e-invoicing portal, as per your GSTR1, what you are matching, and now a new matching is happening, that is matching the data of FASTag, whether the transporter, the good was moving or not. Since the time e-way bills have been brought into scenario, it is mandatory that e-way bill should be there present if the goods are moving beyond the limit specified. Without e-way bills, it will not be a valid movement of goods. The government can come back to you and say that the goods are fraud. because they were not accompanied by e-way bill. So do make sure if the value of the goods is above the limits, e-way bill has to be mandatorily issued. So there are many cases happening in the income GST department where we talk about fraud billing, fraud purchases. So e-way bills, if e-way bills are there with a proper vehicle number, see, the government department even has the authority to check that the vehicle number mentioned over there is valid. You just can't go and mention any vehicle number. So they can check it. If the e-way bill is valid, for sure the goods were moving. And now the FASTag thing has made this thing more checkable. If the FASTag says that, oh, agreed, this truck was moving on this road on this date, and my e-way bill route is also showing the same, that my goods are moving from Delhi to Maharashtra, it's justified sale. It's not a fraud sale. It's not a fake thing that is happening. Okay. So this is something that is all about e-way bill. Just logging it out from here. The kind of registration you want, you can go ahead. Like, let's suppose if I talk about e-way bill for citizens. So you can just go and generate your e-way bill. Select your state from where to where, your name, address, contact information. You can generate your e-way bills. So this was a question. If both are unregistered, then also you have an option. Okay. Fine. What was your query, Nikhil? I think I have lost it in the chat. So there are lots of things coming in the chat. I think I've lost it. Nimish, you are saying that how to prepare stock transfer e-way bill. Nimish, stock transfer is happening through your tax invoice only. I think we have discussed it in the previous classes. Stock transfer is nothing. A normal sale from one GST-IN to another GST-IN. Okay. Then you need to raise a e-way bill on a tax invoice. Simple. Okay. Okay. So, Nikhil, you are asking if the supply is happening without consideration. In that case, which document required to prepare? Nikhil, I think first you need to come to that answer. The documentation work, tax invoice or delivery challan will happen when you need to clarify what you are talking about. Without consideration, is it FOC? FOC supply, free of cost supply? Like samples, I give samples to my customers. I give gift to my customers of the products that I'm manufacturing. Like let's suppose I am into this electronic items supplier and I am giving a refrigerator to my customer as a gift. So this is happening without any consideration. This is FOC supply. FOC supply cannot happen on a tax invoice basis because there is no taxable value and no GST involved. So it will move from my place to my customer's place through a delivery challan, but follow another GST law, section 17(5), which says in case of FOC supply, make sure the GST ITC claimed on the purchase or the inputs, you have to reverse it. So reversal of GST will happen separately in section 17(5), but for the purpose of e-way bill, a delivery challan has to be generated. No tax invoice. Okay. Okay. So people, so it's class time is about to finish. I'm not picking up another question, another another topic for today. So tomorrow my target is, so I'll be sharing all these documents with you, PPTs and everything. Nikhil, yeah, question ahead of that question is that in this case, which document type select bill of entry or tax invoice? Why bill of entry? You are doing export. You are sending free of cost to your customer. Okay, so there is one more question. Nimishji, your query is not that clear to me. We stuffing container at, what is this JNPT? And loaded truck from Tamil Nadu. And Solapur in one single export invoice. How to prepare? Nimishji, you need to be more specific on your query, more clarification I need. So what you can do is that you can quote your query on the portal. Okay, I'll handle that query over there. Okay, so Nikhil is giving me an input. It is sent to an educational institute as donation. So Nikhil, if you are sending the goods as a donation, why bill of entry will come to an educational institution? Bill of entry will get involved only when there is an export. So let's suppose I am in Delhi and I am sending a good worth rupees 2 lakhs to an educational institution. Obviously, I'll raise a delivery challan. It's free of cost. So the others column, there was in another column when we were seeing outward supply. So you can go and click on the others and then you can upload the delivery challan. Okay, now Ganeshji is specifying his query. He's saying one invoice, 2 to 3 vehicles, one e-way possible. Ganeshji, I was telling you that if there is only one tax invoice and the goods are moving in 2 to 3 vehicles, that is your lots or semi knockdown or completely knockdown situation, the final lot will move with the tax invoice, but the other things, the other trucks will move with the delivery challan. For every document, you have to raise a separate e-way bill. You cannot say that I will have only one e-way bill for the multiple trucks. Get the logic. E-way bill part B contains the truck details. Now, if there are 3 trucks, so there have to be 3 truck details. It cannot go in one e-way bill. You need to have separate e-way bills. Okay. So I believe that's for today, people. I'll share everything with the team and ASAP. You will get the mails or on your self-learning portal, it would be uploaded. So from there, you people can